Flow in Sport, one of my favorite books. Feel completely at one with what you're doing. To know you are strong and able to control your destiny, at least for the moment, and to gain a sense of pleasure independent of results is to experience flow. The flow state has many names: optimal experience, playing in a zone, feeling on a high, being totally focused are some of the more common labels. Whatever words you use to describe flow experiences, they're to be associated with the most precious moments of your memory. Sports offers plentiful opportunities to experience flow, yet the flow state eludes most athletes and seems mysterious and unachievable to many coaches. Indeed, most athletes experience flow by chance, and little wonder, because the conditions most conducive to experiencing flow and its components have not been adequately explained to the athletes and coaches. Their options were to wait for flow or to try to force it to occur, but this rarely leads to the desired outcome. My name is James Anthony Mihaly. I'm an indie documentary filmmaker, teaching and entertaining people like you about the joys of making your own documentary. I could rewrite this book and call it Flow in Documentary Filmmaking, because this is what happens to me when I'm making films. But let's continue with this video. The purpose of the book Flow in Sports is to increase understanding and incidence of flow experiences in sport. This is not a 12-step flow book. Flow would be a simpler but shallower phenomenon if access to it were so easy. On the contrary, finding flow involves a keen awareness and a grasp of the set of factors that combine the set of stages for it. This book gives you information to understand and apply the flow component to your specific situation. This book is not the final definitive work in the subject of flow in sports. A coach looking to explain your methods and knowledge for mentoring your players, or a student of sports adding to your information base, this is an important area of study. I hope that this video experience will be worth your time. Athletes in all sports all over the world seek moments like these. The feelings involved are among the most intense, most memorable experiences one can get in life. Once attained, flow experiences remain etched in the memory and provides the blueprint for returning to this optimal state. Yet experiencing flow is not that easy. First of all, flow is a state of consciousness where one becomes totally absorbed in what one's doing, to the exclusion of all other thoughts and emotions. So flow is about focus, but more than just focus, however. Flow is a harmonious experience where mind and body are working together, effortlessly leaving the person feeling that something special has just occurred. Flow is about enjoyment. Although winning is important, flow does not depend on it, and flow offers something more than just a successful outcome. This is because flow lifts experience from the ordinary to the optimal. And it's those moments that we feel truly alive and in tune with what we're doing. Among all the things that people do in their lives, sport presents a special opportunity for flow to occur. There are a few activities such as performing music or drama, film editing, or playing chess that are apt to make flow happen. One of the most important things to understand in flow is the challenge, skill, balance. Really important. The first prerequisite for flow is to striking a positive balance between these two elements: the challenge you think you face and the skills you think you have. This is a simple but important concept, and it's critical to understanding flow and how it occurs. The CS balance is the golden rule in flow. One point to remember here is your subjective perception that predicts flow. This means that it's not so much what the objective challenges or the skills are in the situation that determines the quality of the experience, but what a person thinks of the available opportunities and their capacity to act. So whether you're in flow in sports or whether you suffer from anxiety or boredom depends on large extent to your perception. Both challenges and skills can be progressively developed in clearly defined stages of increased complexity. The further one moves up the skill dimension in sport, the more difficult the challenges become. Breaking the 4-minute mile is seen in its day as the ultimate challenge. Many elite middle distance runners took up this challenge, trying to stretch the boundaries of human performance in this domain. Once the 4-minute mile was achieved, new challenges were set. So how does the CS balance set the stage for flow? Well, think of it as a situation in sports which you felt you could meet the challenge. Maybe it was an important competition that you trained hard for, or lined up for the start of a competition and felt eager but a little nervous. Eager because you were well prepared, nervous because the competition meant a lot and you would have to give it your best shot. You believe you could meet the challenge, but because the situation was not an easy one, you needed to apply all the effort that you were capable of. The best athletes in the world thrive on such situations. They know what to do and they believe they can succeed. There's an order to their consciousness, focusing their thoughts so intensely that not enough attention is left over to worry about themselves or their problems. Concentration is directed totally towards the activity. The players are so in tune with what they are doing that they quickly notice the finest nuances of their game and make adjustments to stay in the groove. The optimal state flow comes when one person's ability matches their opportunity for action. In addition to the positive transformation of experience, flow is a path to achieve personal growth by developing greater complexity. Because flow is so enjoyable, we tend to seek out situations where we can experience. This necessarily involves developing skills and taking increasingly greater challenges. You'll discover, if you haven't already, that the CS balance is not static. It constantly moves upward. Just to maintain flow in your sport means you must keep increasing your skill. In increasing the intensity and feelings, you're led to increasingly higher levels of athletic performance. Understanding flow, however, offers more than the development of athletic potential. Once the keys to flow are understood, the opportunity to develop one's whole life according to flow principles begin to emerge. At that point, it becomes possible to transform the entirety of life from a stressful, chaotic chase into something resembling an enjoyable dance. To explain flow, athletes often find themselves in challenging situations. Indeed, sports is about putting the physical body to the test and making the test conditions progressively more difficult. Each person can find their own balance appropriate to their present skills, and thus set the stage for flow. It's important to realize what you believe you can do determines your experience more than your actual abilities. To be able to change how you view a particular situation takes self-confidence. To develop that confidence, it helps to think back on past successes rather than on failures. It helps to focus the mind on your present strengths, whatever they happen to be. If you're enjoying this video, please take a second to like it and subscribe. Please feel free to comment below as well. But perhaps the most satisfying reward sport can give us is the full immersion into the now, the effortless stretching of mind and body in a totally experienced moment. Sports provides us such opportunities to release stress and tension, let go of our worries and become absorbed in the activity at hand. It can produce a sense of spiritual fulfillment, of living on a level that is somehow more complete and harmonious than we're used to and experience in everyday life. Admit it, it's fun. Sports is a time to play, in contrast to the seriousness in which we lead our daily lives. We play sport, we don't work sport. I hope you enjoyed this recap of the phenomenal book, Flow in Sports. I have a couple of other videos you may like. Thanks again for taking the time to watch and listen.